So now with the Packers season officially over, we are officially eliminated from the playoffs. With that happening, there are now many decisions that have to be made here in Green Bay, from players, free agents. What will Aaron Rodgers decide? Will the coaching staff stay the same? Matt Lafleur had a press conference yesterday, and he went into lots of this. The one thing I want to focus on in this video is what he had to say regarding defensive coordinator Joe Barry, who has now finished his second year in Green Bay. He was asked, or Lafleur was asked by one of the reporters, if Joe Barry will be returning as defensive coordinator for the third time in Green Bay coming into 2023. Lafleur responded, "That's what I anticipate." Yes, Lafleur said Monday. "I don't really anticipate a whole lot, if any, staff changes at all." So it sounds from that quote that Matt Lafleur fully plans to bring Joe Barry back for a third year. And I'm guessing there is some mixed emotions from different people, because personally myself, I'm a little bit undecided at the moment, because let's look at what happened these past couple of years with Joe Barry. So 2021, we have a pretty solid season overall. 9th in yards allowed in 2021, 10th in points allowed. We shut down the 49ers offense mostly in that playoff game last year, but the offense can't get going. We lose that game. And from that performance, it seemed like, okay, that was a great way to end the year. Jair will be back fully healthy. This defense will be great. And then for the first 11, 12 games or so, the defense looked absolutely terrible. We were poor in tackling. We allowed over 27 points 5 or 6 times. Things weren't going well. And then the final 5 games of this season, the Packers defense started playing really, really well. That's one of the reasons the Packers were able to go on the run they've had, which almost allowed them to sneak into the playoffs. And in these final 5 games, the Packers never allowed more than 20 points. They allowed 17.6 points per game, where if you ranked that, if that had happened all season, that would be the second best defense in the NFL. So that's why I'm a little conflicted, because if this defense can do what they did the final 5 games, I would want Joe Barry back in 2023. The thing is, though, ending last year, it felt like, okay, this defense, what a great way to end the year. We come in, we start slow, and we can't get things going. It takes 10 or 11, 12 weeks. Why did it take so long for Joe Barry to be able to get the most out of this Packers defense? So just because of the inconsistencies of this defense with Joe Barry, that's why I'm conflicted. Because yes, if we come back next year, 2023, Joe Barry is able to bring out this defense. We saw the final 5 games. I'm all for Joe Barry. The thing is, can't predict the future. Who knows if this defense will start slow once again, and that's why I'm a little undecided on how I completely feel about Joe Barry returning next year. And so it's going to be interesting to see what does happen, because there are many potential positives for this defense coming into next season. Quay Walker entering his second year. We saw him improve throughout the year. We have Devontae Wyatt, who in the final 5 games started getting a lot more snaps, especially with Dean Lowry being sent to the IR. Devontae Wyatt was one of the highest graded Packers players on defense in the final couple games. And so with those young players likely taking jumps going into their second year, Devontae Wyatt, Quay Walker, JJ Enagbare, with Rashawn Gary coming back as well, who was not even playing through this hot streak the Packers had, as well as Eric Stokes. And so if we can see that defense we saw the final 5 games, with these young players taking steps forward, with Rashawn Gary back, with Eric Stokes back, there is reason to believe that this could be a really good defense. The thing is, though, it's exactly how I felt last year. It was like, wow, we ended it off great. We got some nice young players in here. We're going to have a great defense, and that did not, go as I thought it would to start most of the year. And so that's why I'm a little just undecided, because who knows what Joe Barry will see coming into 2023. But it does sound like, from Matt LaFleur's perspective, that he fully plans on bringing Joe Barry back. So that's what it sounds like. It sounds like Barry will be here for a third year. And unless something else were to change, Matt LaFleur sounded very convicted about that. And as he said in that other quote, he doesn't really anticipate many staff changes. He wants to keep a very similar staff. And let me read one more quote about this. He says, "I don't anticipate a whole lot, if any, staff changes at all. I do think there's something to the guys we have in this building. Certainly, I think there's a lot of things that all of us can improve upon, most notably ourselves. But I do believe in the people, not only in the locker room, but our coaching staff. Are there a lot of things we have to improve upon? Absolutely, no doubt about it. But it's my intention to have everybody back, and continuity is a big part of having success in this league." So feel free to comment your thoughts. What do you think about Joe Barry returning once again? Do you like it? Do you not like it? And if you don't like it, what do you think the better answer is? Because if you do bring in someone new, obviously you have to learn an entire new system. These guys have been playing here for a couple of years under Joe Barry, which I guess is a positive. And if he does return, which it sounds like he does, I really hope we see the defense we saw in the final 5 games, and we see lots of improvement from these young players. But we'll see what happens here. We still have a long offseason because it's now just beginning for the Packers. But that's all I have for this video. If you would like to stay up to date with all Packers news, feel free to subscribe. Put out videos throughout the week, most days. So stay tuned for more Packers content. But that's all I got for you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.